We start the story with Elle. She's in a bathrobe and she's lingering in the kitchen looking at a still life of last night's dinner. So some empty wine glasses, plates. We do want to give that light impression that there was a dinner here last night and it has something happen that's making her linger and look at it in this memory. And it's also given us a second to just look at Elle and to see her. Then we're going to follow her out of the cabin house and into the paper palace. And this is our first, we're going to introduce the setting. The Paper Palace is a cabin house in Cape Cod, or the fringes of Cape Cod, surrounded by woods. There's going to be pine needles under her feet as she's walking down the path and towards the pond for her very ritualistic morning swim. When she gets to the edge of the water, she drops the bathrobe, she eases into the water, and then dives in and swims out to the center. We're introducing the setting. We get a nice visual of the paper palace, of the pond, of the woods, of the cabin house. And we're getting this quiet time and silent time to just see and be with Elle and this very sacred routine of hers of going for this morning swim. Then back to the cabin house, and she goes into the kitchen and she's met by Wallace. And Wallace is her mother. It's just basic exchange, a morning exchange. They're making coffee. Coffee's getting ready. And as it's getting ready, they're having a conversation about last night. So Wallace says, I thought last night went well. Jonas was looking good. Of course, we don't know who Jonas is yet. We're verbally getting introduced to Jonas as well. So Wallace comments, what were you guys talking about? You were talking, all night. Jonas, he had such a crush on you when you were growing up. And Elle's like, come on, he was practically a kid. We were just kids. And Wallace is like, I think it was more than that. I think you broke his heart when you married Peter. Wallace is going at it about Jonas's wife and life partner, Gina, and how she's boring and how he should leave her because they don't have kids. But we want to get established and get really introduced to Wallace, who has really no filter with her mouth. She says what she thinks. She's crass. She can be brutally honest. Sometimes she can be cross lines for sure. And then also just get really introduced to Wallace's tone, which can be quite abrasive. Wallace goes for her morning swim, and as Wallace leaves, Peter comes in, and Peter is Eleanor's husband. They kiss each other, and they begin morning ritual, the morning routine of making breakfast. You make breakfast, I'll go get the kids awake and round them up. What we're wanting to do with this scene, establish Elle's ordinary world.